Welcome to the 12th episode of the Chirpin podcast. Today I'm kind of going in a little blind and I don't have anything really prepared per se. I got a couple in my things in mind I want to talk about, and I'm also going to kind of change up how I do the actual game recap. So, explaining that first, I'm not going to do an inning by inning breakdown anymore. It's a little tedious, and there's a lot of innings where it's just nothing really in particular great happens, and it's not even worth going over. So I'm going to focus on scoring and big game changing plays that are made and talk about those and mistakes and things that could have been done different. I think going forward, I'm also going to attempt to try and relate more to the actual game itself than just given the game log. So this weekend wasn't great for me, however, because I was pretty busy getting ready for my kid's birthday next weekend and a couple other things like Easter and stuff like that. So I didn't really get to watch a whole lot of Cardinals baseball. I tuned into the games and watched them over the MLB.com at bat app. But other than that, I mean, I didn't get a whole lot of time watching them, and I mean, it's probably a good weekend to skip, really, because they got beat up by the Mets. But before we talk about the Mets series, I do want to talk about a couple things, especially a couple things that I've been seeing online. One thing in particular is a lot of the fans consistently refusing to believe that this is a youth movement, regardless of what they believe a youth movement looks like. If you take the two words, youth and movement, what does that mean? Like, define youth movement. Essentially that means is you're moving towards youth, right? And the Cardinals did just that this season. They moved on from Andrew Kittredge, Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson, and Paul Goldschmidt, all in their late 30s. In 2024, their 26-man roster age was in the upper 20s, like 29.2 to 30 range. In 2025, the Cardinals are 27, which is sixth lowest in baseball, meaning there are 24 other teams that are older than the St. Louis Cardinals. That's just a fact. ESPN refutes it, but I believe that they're only looking at the batters and theirs because the only they say that the average is 30.4 on ESPN, which would be the fourth oldest team in baseball. But if you take all of the hitters in the lineup, the average is 30.4, which is what they have the St. Louis Cardinals down as the average age of the entire team, which isn't true. The average age of the entire team is like 27.8, which, like I said, is good for sixth in the major leagues. So a lot of people claim this isn't a youth movement, and I just want to know how or why. Because they didn't trade Arenado. One player dictates that is the defining line between a youth movement and not a youth movement. They actually stuck to their guns and brought up Victor Scott. Do they not get credit for that though? Look, we can spin it however we want, but the fact remains is the Cardinals did move towards youth in 2025. Yeah, maybe it's not the step that you wanted them to see, but we gotta stop pretending like they just ran out the same old ass team as last season, because that's not true. If that was true, Kittredge would be on this team along with Gibson and Lance Lynn and Paul Goldschmidt. People got to get your head out of the sand and look at reality. I mean, people let their emotions dictate their opinions so much, and it's not factual. Is it the youth movement I wanted to see? No, I said a long time ago, even during the early season of the spring, I would prefer to keep Arenado, but I could see why trading him makes sense. It's good for our future. We could have a whole bunch of players in. But I mean, regardless, you knew players were going to get hurt, and that's what happened. And look, so JC got a chance, and now JC is probably going to stay in the major leagues. So, yeah, the Cardinals are in a youth movement. I mean, that's just the truth. A couple of key reasons why they are actually indeed in a youth movement is first, the young roster is composed of an average of 27. Reasons why the youth movement is happening is because like we already established, the 26 man is age 27, and we have four position players that actively take the field every day under the age, or sorry, not under, all under. They're either 23 or younger. Jordan Walker, Nolan Gorman, and Mason Wynn are all under the age or the age of 23. Another reason why, excluding the MLB team, but another reason why they're evidently in a youth movement is their heavy emphasis on reworking the minor leagues. They wouldn't be doing that if they weren't focused on the young players. So, regardless of what everyone thinks, the Cardinals are indeed in a youth movement. Another thing I want to talk about is Ali Marmol. So, he screwed up and probably got Ryan Fernandez sent down while he was at it. So the Cardinals had a rough series. That much we know, and we're going to get into that. But Sunday's game was a managerial loss. Cardinals fought back in that game and tied it 4-4. And then the bottom of the ninth inning, Marmol decides to take a pitcher who's struggling, a pitcher that had only faced 9 previous high leverage outings. I mean, this pitcher had a way over 7 ERA. So, and he brought him in the bottom of the ninth. And I can see what Ollie's plan was here. He was going to try to save Helsley before the Cardinals got the lead in the 10th. But no. No, that's not what we do. The Mets have a dangerous lineup. And to put a pitcher that is struggling as bad as Fernandez is just a managerial mistake. And it cost the game. And I'm getting tired of him being on this team. I'm tired of seeing Marmol in that dugout. Just get him out of here. He is no good. You get a lot of insiders and other podcasters that carry water for them constantly, carry water for the Cardinals, carry water for the front office, and carry water for Marmol. And that's kind of why I made this podcast in general, is because I was sick of it. I'm going to give you guys the straight up Cardinals suck, and it's because the FO and the manager suck. That's just the truth. And it's stupid late game mistakes like that that cost the Cardinals so many games. I mean, he's already ruined his manager, or not ruined, but have almost went under 500 for his managerial career. He's got 256 wins, 253 losses. So he's 3 games away from being under 500. Marmol is not a good manager, and it's time for the Cardinals to move on when Heimblum takes over. It's for the mistakes he makes, like the one he made yesterday. Let's get into the games. So, like I said, I revised how I'm gonna do this and kind of go over the big stuff in each game. Go over the starters. So let's start with Thursday's game. Thursday's game starter was Palante, who had 6 innings pitched, 7 hits with 4 earned runs. It's pretty much a bad inning, one bad inning for Palante. He looked solid other than that. But 6 inning pitch, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. The only thing you can kinda say, good job on is the 6 innings that he gave to save the bullpen. In the bottom of the second inning, Mark Vientos hits a home run, making it 1-0. Same inning, Brett Beatty hits a single that scored Starlin Marte, making it 2-0. Then Francisco Lindor singles, making it 4-0. And that was Palante's big inning that he gave up pretty much all the runs. And top of the third inning, Donovan hits a single that scores Victor Scott, which was the only point the Cardinals scored the entire game. No more runs came across the board for either side. You pretty much see Palante, besides that one inning, slice through the Mets lineup. Cardinals end up losing that game 4-1. Friday's game, Michaelis started, and it was another piss poor start by Michaelis. Only lasted 4.2 innings, where he gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks with 1 strikeout. Not as bad as his outing. Yeah, I don't know if that was before the time before that, but it was awful still. 4.2 innings pitched is not enough. And the bullpen got some work in on Friday. We saw 5 relievers come in. Top of the second, the Cardinals jumped ahead with a Pedro Pages single that made it 1-0. And then top of the fourth, Jordan Walker hits a single, making it 2-0. But in the bottom of the fifth, Tyrone Taylor hits a triple that gets the Mets on the board, 2-1. And then Juan Soto hits a single, tying it up 2-2. Top of the sixth inning, Nolan Arenado hits a single, making it 3-2. Bottom of the sixth, Vientos hits a home run, tying the game up once again, making it 3-3. Bottom of the eighth, Luis Torrens doubled, scoring Brandon Nimmo, and the Mets take their first lead. Brendan Donovan comes in pretty clutch and hits a home run, making it 4-4. Bottom ninth inning, Lindor walks it off with a home run, and the Mets win 5-4. Saturday's game, the Vitor starts. He has a quality start. 6.2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk with 6 strikeouts. He's a 3.60 ERA on the season. The Mets get the scoring started in the third when Juan Soto hit a single, making it 1-0. Pete Alonso hits a double, making it 2-0. And then in the bottom of the eighth, Pete Alonso hits a home run, making it 3-0. In this game, the Mets beat the Cardinals, third time in a row, 3-0. With this series, the Cardinals offense just kind of faded out. went feeble. All right, so let's talk about Sunday's game. Sunday saw Sonny Gray pitch 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 1 walk with 6 strikeouts. Quality start, strong start, strong start. Again, strong start. It was a great start. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't a number one ace like start, but he got the job done. Bottom of the first, Lindor gets a game started with a home run, making it 1-0. Then Juan Soto comes up and hits a sac fly, making it 2-0. Bottom of the fifth, Pete Alonso hits a single, making it 3-0. Top of the sixth, Alec Burleson grounds out, but brings Donovan across the board, makes it 3-1. Top of the seventh, Sajasi gets a double, tying the game 3-3. It's a big moment for Sajasi, and when he pretty much gained all the support of Cardinals Twitter. So now if you send him down, Mo, they're gonna put your head on a spike. Bottom of the seventh, Nimmo gets a single, making it 4-3. Then bottom of the eighth, Tyrone Taylor hits a double, making it 5-3. And then Juan Soto doubles, making it 7-3. That was the Fernandez blunder that we were talking about. Top ninth inning, Lars Nootbaar hits a single, making it 7-4. But the Cardinals still dropped the Easter game. Mets sweep the series, win it 7-4, send the Cardinals to Atlanta crying. This is a bad series for the Cardinals. Very bad. The offense have become feeble. And actually, they've fallen so hard that now they are in the bottom portion of offenses in the league. I didn't think this offense was going to continue doing what it was doing. It was benefiting from everybody being hot at the same time, but the longevity of it wasn't there. We're seeing more and more of the actual offense we're going to see this season. Other than that, this pretty much wraps up episode 12 of the Chirpin Birds podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And also hit the little notification bell so you know whenever I upload. And follow me on my X account. Other than that, we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.